So, welcome everybody to another episode of, you remember the name of the podcast?
Migros.
On the Mic.
On the mic.
Yeah.
I knew it. I just didn't say it.
Everyone's gonna know it.
I don't want to spoil the name.
Well, that's probably where the intro title card is gonna come in.
You know, like they gotta wait for the intro. It's fine.
I still need like a proper jingle for it. I don't have anything.
But it was cool. It was funny. I mean, like the ones that I saw, you know, the intro, especially. I mean, we watched.
It's freestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. I liked it. I liked it so much. It was funny.
Yeah,
we laughed a lot.
It was pretty good. I mean, did you understand what he was saying?
No.
No.
But that's bro. There were a lot of noises, and I was like, "Shit, that sounds cool," but I don't understand.
But what he was saying was actually like pretty dope. You know, it was like Migros on the mic through politics, politics on side, like politics and time and lifestyle and hype and.
True,
Bro, get on it, real life and stuff. That was actually pretty good.
That was dope. And the beatbox, it was nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. So would you like to introduce yourself to the audience that doesn't know who you are?
Nice. Hello, everyone. My name is Abdullah. Just kidding, it's only Abdullah. And originally from Kurdistan. I'm also studying, not studying anymore. I graduated, you know. Yeah, I'm like IBS done. I finished it. It's International Business Information System, just Wirtschaftsinformatik for the Deutsche people, but in English. And here we are. I mean, with Sammy today.
That's right, man.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Good to have you here, bro.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
So has your thesis been? I imagine it's probably like a shitload of stress, right?
Yeah,
because what you do, you know, I study media stuff. You study like
business and IT.
Business and IT, which is
it's like a lot of stuff together. You know, like. It's not just IT and it's not just business. So in your works, you gotta combine both of them. And sometimes it's a more hustle. You know, it's more work. And it was tough actually. The last semester I did, something crazy.
What did you do, bro?
So how was it like? In our degree, you can skip internship when you have enough working experience. You know, and I already had it. I was a programmer for 2 years. And I skipped internship. That's one semester gone from there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to graduate in 6 semesters. Then it was like the last semester. It was like the 5th semester. I called my friend. I was like, it was Ali from Egypt. I was like, he graduated already. I was like, bro, I have an idea. He was like, what? I was like, it's my 5th semester. And next semester I have thesis and another exam. And this semester I have 5 exams. I'm thinking of taking them all. It's like, bro, it's kind of impossible. I was like, well, let's try it out. You know, I'm not going to lose anything. If I fail anything, I'm going to do the 6th semester as I had to.
Yeah, exactly.
So who cares? I'm just going to try it out.
You're just going to take on a challenge.
I was like, I'm going to take them all. At the beginning, I was like, it's going to be chill, you know, like.
It's going to be chill. You expected it to be chill.
I really thought it's going to be chill. And then I took it. I was like, it's a challenge. It's fun. It'll be fun.
And what was the mental breakdown point?
Oh, bro. Like, I remember during Christmas when it was holiday. Everyone was on their trips. They were on vacation, visiting their family.
Yeah.
I was alone in Rosla. Writing the projects, writing the paperwork and stuff, because it was not just the uni. I took 54 credits in that semester. It was like 6 exams and thesis. Okay, I was working part-time for Allianz here and like as a project manager. And on the other hand, I'm running my own business back home in Kurdistan. Blessa, shout out to my friends, shout out to my colleagues, you know. And at that time, we got some projects and clients. And I was the only backend developer. I had to also issue with them, deal with them, and that.
But that was like a separate thing to your uni stuff, right? Like
it was completely separate. Like
is that like the startup that you once mentioned before?
Yeah. It's like my startup. We have started last year with 3 of my friends there, and each of us doing something. It's more about IT solutions, consulting, and stuff, and it's going quite good. I'm grateful. It's going good, and then. In the last semester, all this stuff together, it was a lot of pressure. Trust me. At one point, I was like, am I going to do it? Well, you know.
But you did it.
Well, you did it, you know.
You did it at the end, man.
Thank God. Yeah, I'm so grateful for this. I'm grateful.
Yeah, I totally believe that, bro. It's pretty crazy, you know, pretty impressive.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm struggling with just in general, you know, media studies. Sometimes you just take 2 semesters, put it into, you did 7th semester bachelor in 5, right?
Yeah. So I usually the degree you graduate in 7 semesters. Well, I graduated in 5.
That's crazy.
So 2 semesters earlier.
That's
I'm not gonna waste any time here.
You're such a nerd, bro.
Well, I mean, we had fun too. We also traveled.
Yeah.
In the meantime, yeah.
So you were able to do like the work-life balance thing as well?
At the same time,
It's
you know,
impossible.
my friends were like, oh, my sleep schedule is fucked up. Trust me.
I believe so.
Yeah, I remember for New Year, they were like, we're going to go to Italy. I was like, bro, I'm down. I cannot say no when you guys are going on a trip, you know?
And which part of Italy did you go to?
We went to North. We went to like, one of our friends lives there, Andrea, and he lives between Milan and Turin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it was nice, you know. I mean, I love it when you're traveling with a local.
Yeah,
you know,
of course,
it's much different when you're traveling alone. There are a lot of differences. For example, when you're traveling with a local, you get to know the culture there. You get to know the locals there, who they are really, who they really are, and it was quite fun. You know, like we went to pizzerias out of nowhere, and like it's a small shop, and it was so dope. So like stuff like this experience, it's like once in a lifetime, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, Italy is just, you know, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I mean,
trust
the people
me.
are fun. You know, like the weather. If you catch a good time, you know, is better than here.
Yeah, it was.
And the food, bro. We don't even have to talk about that,
bro.
We don't have to talk about that. We love Italy. Bella Italia. Shout out Italia. Yeah.
Shout out to Italy.
Right. So, we are not going to talk about this one conflict, right?
Yeah.
But you said you're Kurdish. And I feel like I don't know much about the history of like the whole conflict and Kurdish situation. Would you like to elaborate on that maybe a little bit?
Of course. Be glad to talk about it. So we Kurds, many people like, since we don't have right now an independent country, you know, hopefully in the future. So many people think we are either Arabs, Turks, or Persian like people, but we are not. We are called Kurds. We originally call our area Kurdistan as Kurds, and we are around 40 million people, bro. Around 40 million people altogether, and we have been separated into 4 countries in Middle East, which is Turkey, Syria, Iraq, Iran, and like for example, I'm from North Iraq. But like right now we have our own government. It's a region there. It's approved everything. We have our own language. Schools are in Kurdish. But bro, we had a lot of war and fights to get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, and when someone just tells us, no, you cannot be a country or something for us, it's like, you know, those Kurds didn't die for nothing.
Exactly.
So, you know, like a lot of Kurds, if we talk about like what Saddam Hussein did, and also before in other parts of Kurdistan, a lot of people died. Like my relatives, you know, many of course, and like during Saddam time, a lot of relatives of mine, they passed away.
Oh, wow.
What Saddam did was like an obvious genocide, you know, especially on Halabja. It was one of the city where he dropped the chemical weapons on them. Thousands of people died, and that was like so heartbreaking. We're still like when the time comes, when the time of the year comes, when it happens, we're all sad. Like it's a really sad time. So yeah, we have our own traditional clothes. I guess in the international festival, I'm trying to represent sometimes. I guess this, you know, our own dances, also good food.
Of
you
course.
know, like so we are a happy nation. Like we're trying to spread fun, peace, you know, chill. So
love that.
That's much about Kurdistan. You know, there is a lot more.
I believe there's
a lot more. Of course, like.
So, what do you think about the whole situation with Saddam Hussein right now? Because he was fleeing.
He's done over.
Yeah, he's now in Russia chilling with Vladimir over there.
Bro, cut. That was Bashar Assad.
Huh?
That's Bashar Assad. That was not Saddam Hussein.
No, I'm not gonna cut this.
Our DAW stopped recording at this point, but we did not notice. So now we had to use the camera audio and put AI on it. We apologize for the shitty sound.
That was Bashar Assad. So, what's good? Alles good? You know, trying to have a political conversation. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm also not a fan of politics much, you know, like it's too deep, man. Like sometimes it's okay, now I don't understand. But that was Bashar Assad. Allah, should I say? There's like, wait, I messed up. It's Saddam passed out, so like Saddam was done long time ago. Yeah. Since when is in Russia? Yeah, no. He was at the hiding spot, bro. It's the meme, bro. Oh, it's fine, bro. It's fine. Like, you know, it's like people. And I mean, like, you know, for especially the more Western you come, less information they have about there. Like when I come here a lot of times, I mean, in Germany, it's quite better because there are a lot of Kurds here also. So they know some, But most of the times when I've been like into international events, for example, once in USA in an Olympiad, and also sometimes in Germany, many people don't know. Like many people even.
Of course, I mean, you know, what's to know, you don't lie about that.
Was it? That's why we're fighting for our own country. We want it because unless you have one, it's difficult to be recognized. You know, for example, whatever we do, for whatever I do, in an international like recognition, it will be like an Iraqi guy did it, and I don't like. I don't want to. I want to be like a Kurdish guy.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that's for me what's important, because when you say Iraq, Kurds like kind of be hidden, like what we talked about. The people think that only Arabs live there, but that's not how it is. Actually, Kurdish is an official language in Iraq.
Yeah.
Like even the other parts of Iraq they're studying, they should be learning Kurdish too, because it's an official country language.
Would you say like Kurdish people are like a really united nation, or is it more like, are there like differences between like Turkish Kurdish people, Syrian Kurdish people, Iraqi Kurdish people?
True. Well, we have a saying says 2 + 2 = 1. I also put it in the international event. No, they were like, what does that mean? We think like north, south, east, west of Kurdistan, they're all one. It's one big Kurdistan, you know. But of course there are differences. For example, I mean, our traditional clothes are all same, but different styles, you know. Also dialects. We have a lot of dialects, like including Sorani, Kurmanji, Baurami, and a lot of others, you know. So there are some slight differences in this, but at the end, we all want one Kurdistan, one big Kurdistan, independent. That's what we want, where like everyone can live in peace there, you know?
Yeah.
Because not only Kurds lives in Kurdistan, there are other nations too. Like there are other, for example, Chaldeans, Assyrians, and so on. There are many. I mean, those are from my region. Well, and we all live peace. So we want one big Kurdistan where we all live together in peace and be known as Kurds, you know?
You should make a speech, you know, on POTUS or something.
Love Kurdistan. We make Kurdistan great again. And we only make Kurdistan great again. Love the Kurdish people, the Kurdish food.
Yeah. Hey, do you ever get like in like conversational fights with like other Arab people? Because like us as Arabs, you know, like, well, I'm talking about like,
Yeah, I understand.
you know,
Understand.
like the Arab Muslim nation is so divided, right? Like everyone hate. Yeah, I mean, like Tunisians can't even like fucking talk to Algerians without, you know, starting big time problems, right? But do you ever get into like conversational fights with other Arab people or something like that?
Of course. It gets there sometime. Like not with Arabs, you know, with most of them. Like when you're talking about Kurdistan,
Yeah.
then they're like, no.
Really?
Okay, yeah.
They're just like, nah.
Yeah, they're like,
Nah, fam.
no, we don't agree to this. I mean, they were like, we're not gonna give you your part and like cut from our area, you know. Of course, like many times in Germany, there are some of them. I don't want to say the nation, okay, like because I really don't want to make any like we are like peace. We are chill Kurds. We don't want to make conflicts anytime. But like many times when they say where are you from, I usually say I'm from Kurdistan. I just say I'm from Iran. Yeah, probably when we also first met, and they're like they know where it is. And like our neighborhood, the one that have the where is it? Where is it? They do it sarcastically.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, whether you like it or not, I mean, whether you admit it or not,
So it's not like a situation where if you're like from a specific country, that you're just gonna say you're from Georgia or something.
oh no, I just love it, bro. Like, let me tell you something. Once I went to one of the countries, neighborhood countries, in the passport control in the airport, they took my phone. They opened the password. They told me to open the password.
Where did you
Just to see, huh?
Where did you go to?
I know. I'm like, I went to Turkey. Okay.
Okay.
They took my phone, opened the password, okay, to check whether there are any Kurdistan flags.
Oh damn.
Yeah. And like a guy had it, okay?
Yeah.
And they didn't let him go. Well, I had it, but when I travel there, I know what to do. I mean, like I even take off my necklace.
Yeah.
It's like a Kurdistan. I even take it off because I know, like, you know, it might cause me some issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, for example, even there, when I talk to some people, they're trying to be sarcastic about it. But like, I mean, like now the situation is trying to get better. They're making peace with the Kurds there. And I'm really glad to hear this.
Yeah.
But before, when I went, like a couple years ago, yeah, it was that bad. Even in all the streets, like sometimes when I talked with the police and stuff, they were being sarcastic. So it happens, you know, it really happens sometimes. And that's like, What can you do? You know, it only makes us to believe more in Kurdistan.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just saying this, like, it only makes us to believe more and more about Kurdistan, that there will be Kurdistan one day, you know?
It's again like it kind of feels like the end of a speech when you done. I love that passion about it. You know?
Yeah, bro, I mean, like, no discussion about that, you know? 40 million people, we deserve a land, we deserve somewhere.
I mean, you know, Dan's from Botswana. Do you know how many people they have? Do you know the population of Botswana?
No, exactly.
Oh, it's 2 million, bro. That's not even like, well, okay, like about people.
Bro, there are,
bro.
Fun fact, we are the highest population without a country.
Yeah, I'd
Like the highest population that doesn't have a country yet. So imagine.
Hey, I don't want to get things mixed up like with Saddam Hussein and Bashar al-Assad. What gets wait, it's fine. Wasn't it like the Kurdish people that defeated ISIS?
Oh,
That's what I've heard. Or is that like a big take?
yeah, of course.
Because that's just something I heard, okay?
Bro, I was there back then. I mean, let me tell you a story. Back then, it was 2014, 15, 16, that time. So, okay. No, it was 9/11. So, I remember in my school, there was an Olympiad in Netherlands. Okay. And whoever got a good score, they could have get a free, like it was all included. The tuition, everything was included.
Wow, okay.
To go to Netherlands. It was an Olympiad about science. And I was, back then I was in like the Kurdistan region, I was like 5th, 4th. In my city, I was 1st. So I got nominated to go.
Yeah.
Shada, my passport was expired. I wanted to renew it. And because of ISIS, everything was closed. I missed it. And like, besides everything, whenever they also talk about ISIS, like beside how many people they killed from us and like so on, beside that, we fought against them, of course. I mean, US also mentions this a couple of times, that we fought with them against ISIS, because it was like, it was a city like almost next to my city.
Yeah.
They were in Mosul, we were in Erbil. It's like 2 hours riding, like very close. It's not that far.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of Peshmergas, like Peshmerga are like the Kurdish soldiers, you know, the Kurdish army. They fought against them, and a lot of them got martyred. They got killed and stuff. So of course we fought against them, and it was really harsh times. Like I remember, it was tough, but yeah, thank God it passed. You know.
Yeah.
But they cannot defeat us no more. You know what I'm saying?
Another end of the speech.
Another end of the
Like the. Yeah. Okay. So
that's pretty much, I mean, about Kurdistan and all the things, you know. It's like, we're struggling still sometimes, but we hope one day we in your blood, bro. One day we shall, bro. We hope they shall, bro.
All right, so now we have like around about 20 minutes like politics talk.
Yeah, I'm like too much politics.
So let's get into all the politics. So now that you're into Germany, right? You're in Germany, right?
Yeah, I'm in Germany.
When did you come here?
So I always like to travel and to use new experience, meet new people. Like I cannot be happier than now that I'm, you know, like my friends are also here. One from Croatia, the other from Turkey, you from Tunis, and I'm like original German also. Sorry,
What?
Tunisian and German.
Oh, me? Yeah.
Like
I'm some Mizrach, bro.
yeah, so
I'm a Jewish lad, bro.
you know, like also in my
Arab German vibe, bro. Yeah, but anyway.
So, you know, like I was like every time thinking about like going to an atmosphere that international, meeting all different cultures, you know, it's really like worth more than reading like hundreds of books when you do such a life experience. Or say, like I always say, like traveling sometimes is even more important than reading a book alone at home, you know, because you travel, you learn a lot, you see a lot. For example, my friends always also mentioned that when I first came, like I was a different Abdullah than now, you know.
Yeah, how did you differentiate you like now?
Oh, bro, it was too difficult, you know, like from a lot of perspective. Like first of all, I had never lived with like I was all my life in a Muslim society.
Yeah.
You know, and like when you are there, many things, like whether you like it or not, even for the others, when they are not in a Muslim society, when they think about Islam and Muslim, they think about a bit of an aggression and like stuff, you know. And that's not how it is. We're like, peace, Allah, peace, chill. But same as for us. They're like maybe a lot. We thought maybe there are a lot of crackheads and stuff. So confet, they drink all the time. They're like that and stuff. But that's not the fact, Unless you go, you see yourself. Exactly. I mean, like from my friends, there are like 1, 2 Muslim. The rest are either Christian or like atheist and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's really cool, You see how they think.
Yeah.
You understand their point of view.
Yeah.
So it's also for you better to understand your point of view, how you see the stuff. You get the idea better of everything. So it was nice. I mean, that was one reason. Second, I really wanted to try out to study abroad. And even in US, I tried. I got a scholarship there back then, but then Germany was a better option.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'm glad I'm here now. I'm so glad I'm here now. Trust me.
Yeah.
When I came here, I mean, then IBS came up. It was a cool degree. It has been 2.5 years here struggling with the language.
Yeah.
Like I learned the language the hard way. It was really tough. But I mean, German is also like what? My fifth language.
Fifth language.
Yeah, it's like the fifth language. I mean, I Kurdish mother language.
Yeah.
Turkish.
You speak Arabic too, right?
Arabic also.
شوية.
شوية. Like I understand.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, since unfortunately 20 years living in Iraq, I didn't focus on Arabic.
No, okay.
Yeah, my focus was more on English and Turkish.
Okay.
But I understand, living in Iraq, there are a lot of Arabs, of course, a lot of Arab brothers, and like we talk to them time to time. In my school, my classmates, some of them are Arabs, cool people. We talked. I mean, like we were friends. So I kind of understand them.
Yeah.
Also, and I talk like when if I'm in a situation, I can talk, but of course not fluent. So it's like, and then out of these 4, then German comes up.
In a German. Okay.
Yeah, but like I feel like my German now is better than my Arabic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, like
German's pretty good, actually.
yeah, thanks so much. Danke.
Sure, bro. Dat is schon echt niet slecht.
Yeah, like I learned it the hard way. For example, I didn't take any
Or since you were home, you were supposed to, right? Like,
bro.
okay, listen, bro. They probably just rushed to speak.
Let me tell you how it was. So when I came to Germany, from the point I've been working as a developer. Okay, like I mean, till last 6 months I was a project manager, but during development and my first job, it was English. I switched the job. The interview was in English.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
let me tell you that one.
Yeah, tell.
Like the interview was in English, and I thought, okay, the job is in English. It's chill. It's development. I'm fine. I was confident with my coding skills, so I was like, I can do it. I got into the job. And I have some yapping skills in interviews. I do good. Yeah, I convinced them. I got the job. The first day I got to the job, I'm like, good morning. The guy tells me, Guten Morgen. I was like, what? Well, in English, And then I went in, talked with the manager. The manager started talking in German. I'm like, bro, what's poppin'? Yeah, like, what's happening? And then I was like, okay, maybe they talk between themselves in German. And then they were like, Abdullah, come we have a meeting. It was like a sprint meeting, sprint review.
Did you say that in English, though?
No, also in German.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, there? And they were like, yeah, Abdullah. Kannst du sich vorstellen? I was like, bro, hold on, what do you mean? I thought it's English. Everyone speaks German. I was like, no way. And I just switched my job. I could not switch it again. I could not leave it, and that was tough. Yeah. And then I realized I have no chance out.
Yeah.
I have to learn German. Well, I struggled a lot. There is a funny story about this. I've been mentioning with my friends also. Once I had to post something.
Yeah.
With no picture. In the intranet.
Intranet, bro.
Intranet is like
Such a whack interface, bro.
Hey, bro, it's like, for the viewers, it's like a social media between the company, among employees, that's where they always smell like they're with
shitty.
I mean, I think it's a journal.
I mean, it depends on, they're different intranets.
Yeah. But for them, so they had their own. And I posted it, hey, I'm Abdullah, I'm new here, neue Mitarbeiter,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. Then someone called me, a girl called me that was responsible for the intranet. She was like, Abdullah, you forgot to write a hashtag or something. I was like, okay, I was trying to do it. She was like, no. And then in German, she told me, kannst du dein Bildschirm teilen? Okay, and like she said it so fast. So kannst du dein Bildschirm teilen means like, can you share your screen? I thought she said kannst du dein Bild schicken, because can you say in German? I had a lot of confidence. From the table, took a selfie. Yeah, like, I was like, it's fine if you ask for my language. I'm like, that's your language, you know what I'm saying? I sent it to her and then she started laughing. I was like, wait, why is she laughing? Yeah, then she told me, no, I should switch to English. No. Screen share. Bro, that was the peak of embarrassment. I swear to God. Like, I was like, no, fuck. You're just like, I was like, bro, I like kill up confidence, you know, like I was like, here you go, boom. Send. I was like, no fucking way, I just did this mistake. I remember when I was going home, I mean, like, it was also an annoying time that the work was in Freiburg. Oh, which is like 1 hour and a half far. And I had the first month, I had to travel every day. Every day back. Bus, right? Bus and train. There's a bus and train. And train. Yeah, bro, it was like, you know, DB. Sometimes delays and stuff. I've been sometimes, bro, it's on every time. You know, like I've been sometimes outside cold, like -6, and there was a train like not working in the day, and that was really tough. But I remember when I went back, I was like, I should learn this language. No way, like that's it. Yeah, that's it. I should learn it. Well, I believe I'm good now. I can talk good. Yeah, but you know, still English is like, oh, better.
All right. Let me ask you something. Yeah. This is also like a topic that we usually talk about in this podcast, right? Sure. Have you ever, here in Germany, because you might know the political situation right now, you know, like, just getting worse and worse for, like, especially, like, Muslim people, right? Yeah, so as a European person, have you ever experienced, like, some form of racism here, maybe? Or is it more like, yeah, I treat you like a tourist?
Listen, no, like, I don't receive it from the young. Like, you know, I feel like they are quite tolerated and open-minded regarding this. Yeah. But with the old people I have, there was some guy like I was meeting, like, I mean, like we had to meet every week due to some training and things, and like every time when he was singing, he was making these jokes about boom boom these things. Yeah, of course. And like that was a bit annoying. Yeah, it was quite annoying because he knew like it was not a joke. I'm sometimes with my friends we do jokes, you know, and you know it's a joke. They don't mean it. Yeah. But from these people, you knew that they don't mean it. And another time in the chapel here, we were chilling with my friend. Like someone comes every time, and like she was like, "Are you guys studying?" I was like, "I'm finished." She was like, "So are you guys going back?" No, let's go back. Nah, bro, for real? I was like, Dankeschön. You know, so much hospitality. Yeah. Well, no, not yet. Now I'm planning to study my master's. I'm gonna take you down. I'm planning. Oh. Now I'm planning to study my master's, so that's why I might stay a couple of years. Yeah. But definitely, like, future plan is to going back. Alhamdulillah, my opinion, you know. That's what I'm planning, you know. Yeah. Focusing on my startup there. Bless up. That's what you got to do, right? Yeah, bro. Yeah, like I love it. I love their, like, also among family, it's different.
Of course, man. That's a whole different, you know.
Yeah, when your family is here, then here is home. When your family is there, then definitely there is home. And my friends there, like my network. So I believe, like, in the future, it would be the best for me to go back at someday when I'm like quite prepared.
Have you ever been like going back for a visit, you know, since you started studying?
Yeah, I mean, like, for a fact, last semester, despite all this pressure, I got a call from my mom. Yeah, Abdullah, you should come back. There is some legal stuff, like documents and stuff you have to show. Like, mom, I have thesis.
It was during it.
You know, like 6 exams. I don't think it's the right time. In the middle of study, I went back for 2 weeks.
For real?
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
What did you do like during this time?
I swear to God, like that was crazy. For 2 weeks, I went back. When I came back, I was behind a lot of things. Like, I hadn't started my thesis yet. You know, it was in November, and like I hadn't
everything.
You
look like Abdullah GPT, bro.
Like, oh, just not so real lovely. You know the funny thing about Abdullah. Have you ever heard of it? Like, why like Abdullah? Yeah, why I also mention, and sometimes my friends also mention, like, Abdullah.
I have an uncle that's called Abdullah, so tell me the joke, I'll tell you.
Okay. So in my country, My name is Abdullah Dahir. My father is in Arabic. It's like that was the European version. In Arabic, it's Abdullah Dahir. Okay, and my grandpa is also Abdullah. So when they ask for my full name, then they ask for my full name. It's like Abdullah Dahir Abdullah. You know that's my full name. When you come,
Do you Abdullah ibn Abdul? Or how did you? No, because like in Tunisia, as far as I know,
Yeah,
they say like Sami ibn Munji ibn Ahmed. You know, like
that's the form of it. Yeah, I understand. For us, so that's how it is. But when you come to Europe, okay, on your passport, your surname will become your grandfather. Your full name is Abdullah Dar Abdullah. Your surname is your grandfather, which is again Abdullah. When you come to Europe, you know it's full name and surname. So it's every time Abdullah Dar Abdullah Abdullah or Abdullah Dar Abdullah. I'm like, bro. And trust me, every time in passport controls, I face issues. Really? 15 minutes waiting every time. Yeah, 15, 20 minutes. They're like, bro, I remember I went to Turkey once. I was like, what? It was 2014. I was 12 years old only. They stopped me. They're like, cause of this. They were like, cause of the name. I was like, bro, I'm a kid. They're like, he's a kid. Like, you know, they're like, no, cause of the name. We have to check.
Damn.
So,
well, I mean, then all you have to know if you have like, you know, Muslim genes, you know, that's what happens to that, you know, Arab is weird, bro. You know, like, bro, you can't do anything. What you gonna do? You know, that if actually, you know, I think it was 2018, you know, I went back to Tunisia to visit my family, right? Mm-hmm. And this was so crazy. There was like this guy on the security control, right?
Okay.
And I just saw in his face like he hates people, right? Like he just looked like there's like a German show host that's called Günther Jauch.
Okay.
He looked like Günther Jauch. No offense to Günther Jauch. Great guy, but you know, this airport security dude, he was not a great guy, right?
Okay.
And he just looked at me and was like, step to the side, take off your belt and your pants. Like, okay, what the fuck? And take off your shoes. And he took my shoes, put them into like this, you know, thing machine where, and it scans it. There's like, I don't know, like, yeah, the bomb inside or whatever, you know, or drugs. And bro, I was like a teenager, you know, I mean, it wasn't like a child, but I didn't look menacing, bro. I was like, you know, pimples all over my face, like little bit of facial hair, that's it, you know, as ugly as you can get, right? So and then, you know, he was just telling me to sit on someplace, and this weirdo started to give me a foot massage.
What the butt?
Yeah. I think he was like trying to check like if I had like something in my feet, but he was just like, no. You know, with no pants on the airport, you know, like this old guy just massaging my feet. What was that, bro? That was really weird. But of course there were a couple other times where I'm like, you know, with a chain or whatever, you know, if I got something. Last time they checked my girlfriend, like they did like a what's it called?
Well,
the powder that you need, you know, to build a bomb, you know. What's it called?
TNT.
Yeah, I mean they kind of checked her for like, they did a mock. There's a
I don't know.
Y'all know.
We're not virtual guy. We don't know about this dog.
Exactly. We don't know that.
We probably weird Pagana, but like chill bros. People like
we don't even know the words for it, right? But they were, you know, they were telling my girlfriend to step back, and then they checked her, and then I asked, it was just like a piece of paper. They were like touching her back, and then, you know, like her clothes, and then, what was that? She said, just checking for, you know, explosives. Well, with a piece of paper, you check that. I don't know, new technology, but yeah, airports and listeners.
Yeah, bro, sometimes it's stuff. It's the borders, like airports. Oh my God.
But you know what the funny thing is, you know, when I went to Tunisia, when I landed there at the airport, you know, when I went to the security, I think this security gate, I think that wasn't even working. There was like no lights, no LEDs, nothing, you know. You just plastic, you know, you pass it around, and the guy, you know, he was like drinking coffee, talking to his girlfriend, like, hey, you know, let's just go through, you know what we're gonna do, right?
He didn't give a shit. Cause they like your face. They're like, okay, good. If not, come another check.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
It's fine. So this time I have a question for you. I'm asking like,
your question from me.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a general question I usually ask also my friends sometimes. It's somebody feel above it. What do you think, like, AI gonna lead us to?
I thought that's how I think about that. Okay, AI is probably gonna take my job as a creative.
Ooh.
AI,
generative AI already there.
See, like the thing is, there's so much for you guys. Film him. Look at our shame on you. We said flight mode, bro.
Instructions were set airplane mode. Apparently,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Brown people in airplanes just doesn't work, bro.
Use them alarm, bro.
It's fine.
So you were talking about AI, right? See, there are like a lot of things, like where people ask me, yo, what do you think is gonna happen with like the whole situation in the world with like, maybe the World War III, making climate change. There are a lot of different possibilities that the world feels.
Also,
Yeah. So, just I kind of stopped thinking about the future, like, I mean, if it's gonna be AI, then it's cooler outcome than just, old white people pressing buttons and destroying the globe, Like, if we really, go into like this Terminator thing, I mean, come on.
I think like we gotta go with the flow. We cannot stop it. Definitely, it's already there. No. I don't use it, or you don't use it. There are hundreds of thousands, others millions that they are using.
I use it.
And like, I use it.
I use it, bro. It makes life so much easier.
Well, it does. It definitely does. And like, for example, many people are scared. Like, is it gonna take my job?
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, it will take definitely some jobs.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you're like, whatever field you are in, there is a possibility that your competitor might use it.
Yeah.
So you gotta also take benefit from it. You also gotta use it. So at the end, there will be some jobs will be done. There are already auto drivers and stuff like.
But I mean, what kind of range of time are we talking about? Like in 10 years, in 20, in 30?
That's we don't know. AI is pretty fast.
And the fun,
like you cannot say 10, 20 years. Like, for example, when the term AI, it was in 1956 they talked about it.
Yeah.
But because of like the computing was not so developed.
Yeah, so it is like a future we can.
Exactly. Now, for example, what more like the most of the people when they got familiar with AI was when ChatGPT got released, and like end of 2022. Like, I remember when I was coding without GPT, and then after GPT,
difference.
Oh god, there is a lot difference. Like, what I can do now with an AI in a day, it might have taken me like a month before.
Yeah.
Like, it's way faster right now. And yeah, as I said, like, you have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
You have to go with the flow. You have to use it.
Yeah.
It's there. If you don't use it, you'll be behind.
If you try to compete, and like
the
market,
like, especially because of the competitors, you gotta use it. There is no way out of it. I'm sorry we are in it, but
we are in it, bro. That's the thing. I mean, it's part of like capitalism now. I mean, as soon as people invest into something,
yeah, I mean,
the outcome won't be too good.
Could be wrong.
I don't think that it will be used, to benefit humanity at some point. I mean, there's already now, for example, things.
In the past, there were also other inventions. For example, let's say a simple one like the mobile phones that we are using now. Okay, it made our life way easier
and worse.
And also, like, we're socially. Yeah, talk about it socially. Like, also, like, people are spending 10 hours, 12 hours every day on their phones, and it also, like, the time management kind of.
Yep.
So it kind of ruins someone. It can ruin your life, or you can use it to help your life. I believe that's how AI gonna be like also in the future.
Probably.
Either you can use it to help you, or it can use you and ruin you.
But I think AI, it's just it's much more than like a device.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's an intelligence. It's like. It's like a new dangerous. It's like it's a moral. That's the problem.
Yeah. This is like
things. It's like step ahead.
It's like it's thinking.
Yeah.
For example, before, whenever you were developing a software, I mean, like, as a developer, if I talk about it, it wouldn't have done anything, the software, unless you have told, like, if you had coded for.
Yeah.
For example, when you press a button, it would not do anything else than what you have written for to do that function. But in AI, you are training it like a kid. Like a kid, you're like, for example, a kid, you show it the phone 1-2 times to a kid when they're like a small.
Yeah.
They see it. After 2-3 times they use it. Then whatever other phones you give it, the kid knows what does it do.
Yeah, it learns that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same as AI. You show some data, you train a model of AI with some data, and after that, the AI just knows what to do.
The crazy thing is, like, I kind of feel like AI has kind of. Like ChatGPT, for example. Like, when we're talking about AI, I'm usually going to talk about ChatGPT because that's like the only relation that I have to AI, right? But it kind of developed like it slowly develops a personality right now. So I was texting to like ChatGPT, and it kind of started to answer like in the same, kind of slang type of way that I do. But it's crazy. It's so crazy that because sometimes you just like out of curiosity, you asking questions and stuff like that. True. And it just answers in such a crazy way. And you can also say it in an academic way, say it like this, say it like, say it in French, say it in Arabic, say it in Mandarin. It just can do whatever.
But
And that's crazy.
and also one of the like concerns about AI right now is that it takes your data.
Yeah, of course it is.
All the things that we are given, I mean, in developed countries, they are focusing on this more. In developing, they don't give a shit about it at all. Some of them, I mean, like I've seen both. Like that's one of the biggest problems. It takes your data. It gathers the knowledge and it can analyzes all the data of that country. And where it goes, where the data goes.
That's the next thing, that's probably gonna be used for warfare. 100%. I mean, even
Like that's the problem. All of it, one country has it, and then you are not sure what's gonna happen, what they're gonna do with this data. I mean, like we haven't seen it, but we also don't know what they can do with our data.
Exactly. So see, like that's like how tremendous this invention is. It's not like just making our life easier and maybe like a little worse, like to like the cell phone or something. True, but it's also like the invention of the atomic bomb, like Oppenheimer. There's such a big potential.
True. I mean,
Harm.
for example, when they have this data, they can easily influence any country because they know what influences the people with the data.
Yeah, exactly. Now
That's what's so scary about it, in my opinion, at least.
100%. And now nowadays you can like just easily create a bias in the people's heads, the media and stuff like that. Like the deep fakes right now, they're crazy. If you just think about it, what was like 3 years ago with like Will Smith, eating these spaghettis and stuff, and it looked crazy. I mean, the AI in that might be not as good as it could be with like hands and stuff.
No, it's
getting really, really.
it will get out of control.
But
But the more scary part is that when only it has one owner, especially right now, that the one that leads the AI market, that's scary. Like, because you don't know that they're gonna say, like at one point they can use it for a lot of stuff.
see, and that's the problem, with the. See, you might realize I'm a little bit critical about capitalism, right? Because at some point, companies will buy other companies. They will buy other companies. They will just swallow the rest. Exactly. And if you have that happening right now with AI, because you don't have a lot of competitors. I mean, you have like China, you have America, you have like a few other little small AI things.
Europe in the between, just looking.
Europe is just.
I mean, like, bro, come on, you gotta do something in this AI market. At this point, like, it's like a war between China. I'm like, it's really not good for Europe in my opinion right now.
Europe is go.
Yeah, bro, because like right now, the China and US are like, both of them, they're investing in this. It's like, nice. Keep going.
Yeah, we just decided.
Yeah, like I hope it gets better here too. Like I really hope. I really love also like where I am. The reason I am also here and I'm staying here, like for me especially, Germany is like my second home country right now. Like despite that I've been here only for 2.5 years, but the hospitality that I got, I got to improve my career. So much respect for the country. Like I always respect the rules here, what peoples also believe and stuff. So I always also wish better for here too, like for me, of course, I'll be like, I hope every time in the future, it always gets better for Europe, especially for Germany, Basha, that's what's up. Mashallah, brother. Allah khalik.
I think that was the end of your speech.
Yeah.
Of our
That was it.
I think we're like at 45 minutes right now, so it was beautiful.
That was it. That was great. So, grateful to be here again. Thanks.
Oh man, I appreciate it. I just appreciate you being here. I'm doing this.
Thanks.
Sharing us your point of view on the world and everything. It's really good, Matt. Bless.
Thanks for bless.
So, just to summarize, what did we talk about? Like we talked about AI, of course. We talked about like Kurdistan. We talked about it's a little bit of like the life in Germany.
Exactly. Which are one? It. What else? Also, my study.
What do you study? Yeah,
what was your career? Exactly. That's pretty much what we talked about, I guess.
I think that's a good episode right there. All right, that's great. So now you can say your last words to this camera right there.
This one, that one, that okay. Shit, what should I say? Damn. Okay, I mean, thanks for listening to all. Again, glad to be here. And yeah, ciao, ciao. Bye.
Dope. So that was the third episode of Migros on the Mic. And if you want to check out the previous episodes, just, click here or there. I don't know where I put it, or just at the title card right now. Stay blessed. Peace, love, and equality, and all that. And bye.